Nebraska's only Amazon fulfillment center is growing fast, and they now have 4 times the number of employees since opening in January.
The milestone was celebrated with a special guest, Governor Jim Pillen. 6 News' Taylor Johnson shows us how he got hands-on with the crew today.
If you're wondering where your Amazon packages come from, this is it.
They'll be delivered to the zip code or the address of our customers.
There's a lot of help getting them out for delivery, including from Governor Jim Pillen. He packed a box Thursday during his very first tour of the Papillion facility. He says he's impressed by how efficiently things are getting done.
Everything is so sustainable. What has gotten figured out here will just continue to keep do nothing but get better. And it's all demand for the consumer and the best value for the consumer.
In addition to the more than 2,100 jobs already created, Amazon is looking to add 500 more for the holidays.
There are great careers here at Amazon, and it fulfills extraordinary needs of Nebraskans across our state.
Governor Pillen says he's grateful to have Amazon as part of the state's economy, not only for how it benefits customers.
And these robots move along this, what we call AR floor, and they hold all of our inventory.
But business owners too.
Amazon here in Omaha enhances every community in Nebraska. Every small business can find a way to be able to market their products and have them delivered through Amazon. And so really incredible stuff.
On your side in Papillion, Taylor Johnson, 6 News.
Gosh, huge facility there. Now, if you're interested in a job with Amazon, we have a link on our website, WWT.com. John.